Alright, I'm going to show y'all the epoxy method of reinforcing your E46 subframe. Now, is this probably the best way to go about it? I don't know, but certainly the cheapest. And for a inexpensive car like this 325i, but you want more rear rigidity and you don't have the means, whether that's, you know, money or just the, you know, time and space and tools to actually put in plates, this is a really good option, I believe. And it's really, I think it's made a difference just from the butt dyno, you know what I'm saying, just from feeling it. I've owned this car a long time, so I can tell if something's different about it. So what I did was, there's a BMW TSB about this, and they had this epoxy method where they would put structural epoxy in underneath this layer of metal, and underneath there is, you know, this little metal mount where the subframe bolts in on that side where the bushing is, and this basically fills the cavity. And so when you fill the cavity, you know, make it all one piece essentially, just bonded by that epoxy. But in this case, I used like a polyurethane, like for construction and whatnot. It kind of bonds it into one piece in a way, and just kind of makes it to where when you're driving it and it flexes, it's more rigid and just has more structural rigidity. I'm no engineer, but yeah, I'm kind of taking what BMW's idea and kind of making it to where you don't have to spend, you know, $150 if you can even find it. I think ECS might sell it, that structural epoxy, but you know, this method cost me $20, and you can't beat that. And if I didn't do that, I would have done nothing. So it's certainly better than nothing. So I'm gonna pop this here thing off. Might be on there a little bit. Yep. And let me grab my light and I can show y'all. Alrighty, so you can see down in there how it's kind of dried up. I used pretty much like a 1.5 tubes to do that. So of the epoxy, not epoxy, polyurethane. And you're like, okay, it's polyurethane, it's probably gonna dry kind of like a rubbery, kind of like a bushing, like you would imagine. But this is a high durometer polyurethane used to, you know, as a construction adhesive, so it's pretty strong stuff. And let me position my light, just kind of, so I can use my other hand to show you. But, I mean, that's hard stuff. Let me get my screwdriver just to demonstrate. I mean, I'm pressing down on it with my screwdriver. I mean, that's hard as plastic. So, and I filled that cavity up with it. So, and just my driving impressions after doing this little trick, the rear feels just a bit firmer. I live in an area, I don't have tons of potholes, but the roads, it's a very hilly area, not really quite mountainous, but the roads have some good bumps in them, and this thing has HR cup kit, so it has a stiff suspension, kind of decently unforgiving. And so, you know, I can tell differences and stuff. It's pretty communicative. And it just feels more firmed up back here, just more solid in a way. And doing this in combinational plates, I think, would be good. And this is just a good alternative to using the BMW branded structural epoxy. And so leave a comment on what you think of this, and just any constructive feedback I'd appreciate. And let me know if you decided you do it yourself. And hope y'all enjoyed this. Like and subscribe if you did. And I just thank you for reviewing it. And this was just my little idea, so hope it kind of gave you some ideas here. And I didn't do the other side because in the TSB they didn't do that, because I don't think the epoxy can actually get down in there to the cavity. So I don't know if it would actually make enough difference to warrant doing it. So, yep, there it is.